all these interstate highways, right? They in several choke points, and let you do what you do inside your own little ecosystem. Meanwhile, the good folks out in the suburbs and the cul-de-sacs, they ain't got to deal with it until they realize they had to deal with it. And some of their children were coming home addicted. Telling you, drugs is huge in this country, huge. But again, I'm sick and tired of CPD, rolling out on the block, and that's their job. They should do that. And maybe sick and tired is not the word. No, it is. Sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of only seeing that image. I want to see the kingpin. I want to see the big middleman. Who is that individual? Who are those individuals? And until we get to that, everything else is just, listen, we just rats running on a hamster wheel. That's it. We just hamsters on a hamster wheel. That's it. Nothing more. You're running fast and you're moving nowhere. You're moving nowhere. Brent writes, Nate, there's a racial component to this that is being overlooked and no one wants to touch it. We're touching it. They put it out there. Crack cocaine was primarily, the victims were black. Heroin, primarily, the victims appear to be white. And that's the difference, period. And nobody can argue against that. Monique writes, right, Nate, thank you for that. Dr. Drum, yeah, I hit you up, Dr. Drum, most deaf. B writes, they OD, you give medicine so they can stay alive. They do it again. Get more of your medicine. Profit, profit, profit. Ding, 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 ding. That man is correct. He is right. Absolutely. That's exactly how it goes. Think about that. So you got people addicted, right? Pardon me. They're so addicted that when they come back from a near-death experience, you know what they do? They go right back and take the drug again. That is a tremendous hustle. So what do? Okay, well, we're going to sell you the drug that resuscitates you. So when you go to the edge, you can use our drug to come back. That is amazing. But it's legal. It's legal. You can do that. So for people who are on drugs, we're going to give you drugs to help you get off the drugs. And that's the game. Oh, man, I need to get in the Narcan business. I know it sounds macabre, but get yourself into the Narcan business. It looks like it's going to be big. So we don't have a cure for your addiction. Your addiction is powerful. But what we do have is we have the chemicals that can resuscitate you and bring you back. I think B's onto something. Or the other side is, that, the good folks over at CVS, the good folks over at the Kroger store, they're just realizing that there's a market out there that they can make. Yeah, they're going to make some money off of it, but there's a market out there because of the heroin, addiction that's on the streets, taking over everywhere. You tell me, what do you think? I don't know if Peyton Manning actually was involved with something. I'm hearing something about it. I haven't read all into it. Somebody on Twitter is asking me about it. From what I'm reading, I'll put it out there since I brought it up. From what I'm reading, Peyton Manning, Super Bowl champion. Apparently there were some allegations from a woman who were sexually assaulted by a bunch of football players, we'll say athletes at the University of Tennessee. And somehow Peyton Manning's name has gotten drug into it. I don't have all the details. As more comes out, I'll share it with you for sure. Monique writes, they didn't put that on the ballot, huh? Question mark. Of course not. Of course not. John writes, meth was primarily a white problem. And when they changed the laws about that, they changed them so that it was harder to make it. People are not dying from meth overdoses or crack overdoses. That's John checking in. Brent writes, Nate, managed care is the basis of profit based on medicine. B is correct. No need to cure. Exactly. Just like with HIV. If you had to cure HIV, would you share it? Would you make it open source and free to the world? Or would you sell the treatment? If you look at HIV these days and the way it gets reported is that this is just the evolution of the fight of the disease. Like on the road to finding a cure, instead of finding a cure, they're going to find ways to make HIV a lifelong chronic illness. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They already have. You catch HIV, depending on the strain and your body type, you might live the rest of your life. While you're taking medicine every single month, you're taking pills every day, and guess what? Those pills cost money. I have nothing against the pharmaceutical industry per se, but I think that some of these observations are absolutely dead on. Rashida writes, Nate, the victims are primarily white, But I'm still mystified by the death of my dentist, Dr. Shauna Battier, and the death of her husband, Jeremy, brother of Shane Battier. I'll look into that, Rashida. Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm not hip to it. How many people got a chance to check out that Beyonce clip from SNL when they found out that Beyonce was black? Isn't that hilarious? That's one of the funniest things I've seen in a very, very long time. I got to be honest with you. And if you missed that clip, it's up on my Facebook page, The Nathan Ivey Show, right now. You can check it out at your leisure when you decide to. It's pretty funny. And it all goes back to Beyonce at the Super Bowl. I mean, it is hilarious. It's set up like it's a horror movie. And as white people find out that Beyonce is unapologetically black because of her Super Bowl experience, they have a reaction. I mean, it's kind of funny. And it's funny that America can laugh at itself. They even take a shot at, what's the chick's name from Scandal? Russell, yeah. They even take a shot at her like, oh, well, they found out she was black as well. Yeah, she is a black woman. I thought it was hilarious. And that's the kind of comedy I want to see from SNL. That was actually kind of funny. For the most part, no. But did you see it? If so, tell me what you think. I won't play it on the show because it's just too long. And there's a visual element that I don't think you're going to really pick up just listening to it. But if you missed it, it's worth it. Check it out. Pat said I did is very funny. It is hilarious. White folks are just, wait, honey, come in here, honey. Beyonce's black. Yeah, she's been black. She's black when she was born. Y'all just getting hip to it because you don't want her to be. It is amazing. But check that out, folks. That is hilarious. And you might find it. I'll give you a couple chunks. It's worth your time. I think the video is like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but it's worth your time. Trust me. And watch it all the way in. All the way through. Because at the end, this white woman gets so upset that she finds out that Beyonce is black that she smothers her own child. She don't want to live in a world where Beyonce is black. I mean, that's how deep it was. And it really speaks to the way America can view some of the black stars. I thought it was spot on. It was hilarious. And again, if you missed it, it's on my page right now. The Nathan Ivey Show. You can check it out. You can check it out. It is hilarious. Beyonce's black. They're running around. Faces against the glass. It's pretty funny. And I want to see more of this. In these days and times, everything's so racially charged. We need more of that. Because I'm going to say it again. We have a lot more in common than we don't, even in the city of Cincinnati. I know like the city feels like so segregated, and that's because it is. But that's only geography. In terms of what really matters, listen, if you got families, you got people that you love, then you got the same thing in common with everybody else. It doesn't matter whether you're from over the Rhine or downtown or you grew up in Indian Hills. We are all connected in this ecosystem called the city of Cincinnati. And as long as we still have neighborhoods that are struggling and we've got families in those neighborhoods that are struggling and we can do something about it and we don't, then Cincinnati will never claim its rightful place in the future. All these people run around talking about the football, the Bengals loss in the playoffs. Let's say for a second that the Bengals had actually won the Super Bowl. How would that have changed Cincinnati? How would that have really changed your day-to-day life? How would that have changed the life of families that are food insecure? Okay? You got a lot of families out there that are struggling, and it's like here in the city, we're so invested in one thing and not the other. I mean, people were upset. More people were upset that the Bengals lost in the playoff than in certain neighborhoods in this city. We got an infant mortality rate that challenges the national rate. Except for me. My priorities are straight. Telling you, got more people that were upset that the Bengals lost in the playoffs than they are that the unemployment rate for African Americans in this city is through the roof. Come on, where's the priorities? You got more people that were upset because the Bengals lost in the playoffs than they are about the fact that a third of children below 6 are living in poverty in this city. Except for me. My priorities are straight. So, again, it's sports entertainment, but what's really important? So let's say the Bengals had won the Super Bowl, and that would have been great for the Brown family. It would have been great for the players. I mean, I've been living in Cincinnati my entire life. If the Bengals had won a Super Bowl this year, they never would have sent me a ring at all. Would they have sent you a ring? Then what you jocking them for? Why are you jocking folks that don't ride for you? I don't get it. So the real championship is when we can deal with those things, when we can increase the numbers of home ownership between, I'll be honest with you, people that's living in the margins, black and white in this city. When we can decrease the number of kids that are living in poverty, that's the real championship for Cincinnati. Not a football game. I mean, it'll be great, sports entertainment. But in terms of what's real and substantial in this city, none of that really matters. I mean, our real Super Bowl is when Avondale, right, is completely revitalized, and the people that have lived there for so many decades are able to maintain their presence there and have home ownership and start building wealth for those families. Now, that's a championship right there. That is a championship. I'll get out and dance for that. That's a championship. Mayor says he wants to do something. I'm talking about John Cranley. Says he wants to do something about infant mortality in the city of Cincinnati. Well, that's great, John. But his plan is only going to affect a small portion of the total amount of kids here who are living impoverished. So how can we in good name and good conscience celebrate the football sports accomplishments while at the same time the real lives of real people aren't really being affected? You got a governor, John Kasich. He's not even a governor right now. He's a part-time governor. He's running around trying to become the next president. And meanwhile, the whole time, he's making it seem like everything in Ohio is perfect, when, of course, it's not. He's running around talking about how the unemployment rate in Ohio is so low. And it is. For some people, for African Americans, it's still through the roof. How can we claim victory, right, when you got a portion of the community that's not celebrating? How is that possible? So I put things in its proper place. Plus, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. God is not going to bless Hamilton County with a sports championship as long as you treat your residents the way you do, Hamilton County. Oh, God, please let us score. Let you score. Let you score. Meanwhile, the ongoing persecution of Trace Hunter is happening in front of all our eyes and nothing's happening. But you want a championship. It makes no sense. Why would God bless Hamilton County with a championship when Hamilton County hasn't even blessed its members, right, its citizens, I won't say without full citizenship, but with a fair shot here in Hamilton County? That's just me. I'm just riffing. You tell me what you think. Corey writes, come on, Nate, this is Cincinnati. This place will never change. The only way to see change in the city is to leave it. Well, Corey, listen, I can't tell you that I cannot tell you that you're wrong. And here's what I mean by this. There's a lot of people that feel the same way you do. But here's what I see. I think that Cincinnati is on the come up. I think there's an insurgence of young, fresh, new energy that doesn't think the way the other folks think. I think you got a couple of key positions that we need new leadership in, and then Cincinnati will be able to move forward. I think number one in that position is Hamilton County prosecutor, quite honestly. I just want to see competition. If Hamilton Countyans want Joe Dieters or someone like Joe Dieters, so be it. I just want to see the debate, Joe Dieters against another qualified candidate, and there can be a real clash of ideas. That way Hamilton County and the city can actually move forward. That's just me. That's just me. But what do you think? What do you think? Michael writes, Nathan, did you see Ted Strickland call Chris Hayes from MSNBC Steve, LOL? You showed that for me? I did not see that. No, I did not see. Ted Strickland called Chris Hayes Steve. Now, Michael, tell me, now, was that on Chris Hayes' show on MSNBC? I'm sure the Sittenfeld people are going to use that like, hey, this guy's not with it. He don't even know who he's talking to. Mike Jones, he says, replace Tim Burke ASAP. Ooh, that's a tough one right there. Listen, folks, I'm here to tell you that the game of Democrats and Republicans in the city of Cincinnati is super serious. And I believe that Tim Burke plays a critical role in that. I think he plays a critical role in it. I have interviewed Mr. Tim Burke many times over the years. When I interview him, I'll be honest with you,